-2 today. It's been a few weeks since I've been up here. However, the last time I was here, I had help of friend Ben, who came up, and he's very good with injector pumps. He came up and took this off, stripped it down, cleaned it all out, found the solution, well, found the problem, sorry, I should say, which was the rack is sticking, along with a couple of the delivery valves and some other bits. There was a lot of stuck parts, and he's freed a lot of it up, got it all running nice and free, and we put it back on, spun it a little bit, got a little bit of smoke out the exhaust, which is good news because that means there's diesel firing through. However, not all of them are firing, and then it seems to have stuck again. So on the agenda today is take this back off. I'm going to take it over to his place and leave it with him so he can strip it down and clean it all up and get it running how it should, get it all the rack and all the parts cleaned and not sticking. That's a problem, a lot of it's sticking. I also need to order myself a big geared starter motor to help spin this thing over. This turns out this Lucas type that I've bought, which is right for the old blue engine, it's not got enough power to spin this beast. So yeah, also I've got some more welding wire, so I'm going to finish off welding the water pipes that go onto the other side. So hopefully it's going dark now, it's late in the day, started late because I've been to work today. Hopefully I can get this off. If I can get this part off before I go home, that's actually a big job done, because I can take that over anytime and that can be being worked on. That's what I'm going to do. Thought I'd treat myself to a mug of lemonade, but it's frozen up. Yeah. So this is the injector pump. Now, a few of you are saying about the electronic stop lever. It's no longer electronic. It's purely a solenoid that sits on the outside. So it wasn't that was causing it. It's actually sticking. Now, we actually had someone out and had this off last week, and they took all this apart, got all the rack and everything freed up, and we've built it back up, got it back on the thing, and it still didn't start. So taking it back off again and sending it for a full clean and a full strip down. I figured out how the timing works on this, so I feel more comfortable taking it off now. I'm going to put it down though, because it's dead heavy. That's a big old pump. And I've got it off here now. I'm just going to go and take it to the man who knows best. I think he's going to give it a full service, strip down and clean out, get it running on the bench, and then pop it back on and see how it starts. I think the high-speed starters needed as well, so I'll get one of them ordered. So my original plan was to do away with the power steering pump, at least for now, until I could find a better solution, and just use the rear hydraulics to power the power steering using a priority valve. However, I've seen this week a 7710 Ford come online for sale on Facebook Marketplace with this engine in, and he's got this pump on. So then I was talking to my brother, and he says, yeah, I think the SL version of like the 40 series still had a power steering pump. So got looking, and turns out, yeah, they do. So I think those are the gears I'll be looking for. I haven't got one yet, but I'm just going to take this off, and for now, I'm just going to mount this without the gear on, just so then I can continue, I can finish sorting the water pipes out around the pump. Have you ever known a tractor to have 4 starter motors? Well, let me explain. That one came with the blue engine, burnt out. I think because the engine was seized, people trying to start it over and over, no go. That came on the yellow engine, big old beefer. But I'm out of breath from carrying them all around. But doesn't fit on the Ford style, either the casting or the gear. It's all different. I'm sure they can have a different end put on, but I'm not faffing. Then this one, this is the one I bought not long ago from Agriline, the Lucas type, which is the same as that. Only to put it on, you probably saw in the earlier video, and it just isn't strong enough. Now I've got it next to the yellow thing. This has been the back of the shed, locked in, stored behind, kind of stuck behind some bales. So now I've been able to get to it and get it back out from last year. I can now actually see how much bigger it is. So it does require a big old beefer to get it going. That isn't strong enough. So taking that back off, I'll put that to one side. That'll come in for a future project somewhere. And then a lot of people have recommended this type. This is like what came on the TMs, the New Holland TMs. So it's geared, I think that's geared too, but whatever. That's geared, and it's a 4.2 kilowatt. It's supposed to spin really strong, really fast. So we'll give that one a go. Of these three, those three work. That one doesn't, that's scrap, whatever. And Joshua dropped it, but that's not his fault. He didn't actually break it. So that'll go on the shelf. One day maybe that'll fit something when it's needed. You never know, there's something on the farm that might have that fitting. That'll go on pretty much anything else. Yeah, and that'll go on this. So it's not a great loss. Okay, so the new starter is on, starter number 4, but I'm not going to give it a try because the pump's off. So I'm just going to keep the timing exactly where it was. So all I'm waiting for, I guess, is whenever the pump comes back. That's still with Ben. He knows what he's doing with that kind of stuff, so it takes as long as it takes, and that's okay. I'm pretty much ready, hopefully, when the pump comes back, to give it a whirl. I've got, it's actually for Cummins fan support that seems like the best solution for me to make my own fan support on here. And then just have to get an alternator. I haven't got one, and a belt to suit. And I'm pretty much away with that. Just an example of the little things. I've had the power steering pipe strung up, and then as I've built all that in previous videos, it just means taking them off there. But it's not a big job. It's just a little time-consuming thing that didn't need to be, because I could have saved myself 20 minutes if I'd have just spent 30 seconds thinking about it. But that's me. One way to test the thermostat's working. I'm actually just checking to see I've got the right one. Basically, see if it closes the port properly in the bottom of the gallery, rather than not just letting it through at the top, but there's a little port at the bottom that I want it, just making sure it needs to shut off. Just checking I've got the right one. Seems like I have. Basically how these work is, as the water gets to a certain temperature, I think it's like high 80s, low 90s, like almost boiling point, you can see it opens the valve there to let the flow of water through into the radiator. Now this engine's got 2. And what it does is, as well, it pushes that down and plugs, still got the breakfast floating in this pan, plugs the bottom of the gallery as well, so when that's up, the water can actually flow freely through the engine and still through the pump, rather than some just block this off and have the water sitting kind of still. So in here there's I don't know what type of metal it is, but it expands with heat, and if I was to take it out of here and put it so it cools down, I'll see if I can put it on a time lapse to watch it shrink again. Guess that'll be it for this video until more parts turn up. I've bought a bunch of stuff, but I can't really do anything now until that stuff arrives. I'm kind of at my limit. I'm after some more pipe work for the power steering stuff, gear for there, super flexi hose for there, fan support for there, and injector pump. Once all those things are in my hands, then I guess I can move on to the next step. So from me and my 3 hoods, I'll see you later. Wait, before you go. In the meantime, a neighbour's actually got an old pump off a Ford 40 series, auxiliary pump. It's got a gear on it. So I'm just going to see if that will fit quickly. However, looking at it, it looks like it could actually just be the same gear as what I've already got. So hopefully not, but we'll see. I'll take this one off. So just looking at these, that's the same gear, isn't it? That's what I'm trying to avoid. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So I'll have to keep looking. Anyway, yeah, I'll figure it out. I'm just going to give you a little sneak preview of something that's going to be on some upcoming videos. This is something I've had for a number of years, probably over 10 years now, and it's just sat in storage. But seeing as I'm getting married, not next year, the year after, I think it's time I get this geared up, fettled up, sorted finally. I've never really got around to properly sorting it. I'm going to tell you what it is in a minute. This is a project I think that doesn't require much work, but it just needs that kind of like finishing touch and, you know, getting it over the line. So there's probably a couple of months work in it, and I think it's something that me and Holly are going to work on together. So once I've got the Ford, well, it could probably come out now, actually. Now it's all together with the engine on, put in a place where I could still work on it, but it's not taking up the workshop, and this thing can go in the workshop. Actually, I've changed my mind. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to show you some parts on it and see if you can guess what it is. So yeah, hang on. It's currently got some junk on top of it with a mattress on top of it, but I guess you could call it a barn find. As you can see, it's red. It has door handles. It has brake lights that look like that. It's got 8 cylinders. And it's currently all under all this junk.